Tonight on Prime Business, crude oil price falls to around $94 per barrel on the global market, but a petroleum strategist says the continuous decline is unsustainable.
Nobody will stick the neck out and tell you that these prices are going to go down continuously like that. It's not going to happen. It may not happen. We're going to give it some.
Also, making state-owned enterprises financially independent. State Interest and Governance Authority urge firms to register conservative profits so as to refrain from relying on government for support.
Ghana Reinsurance is one of the companies in Ghana, special entities in Ghana, that has consistently paid dividends for the last 20 years. We at SIGA really admire and appreciate what they've done.
Plus, day one of the second clinic of the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair ends. We'll bring you a wrap later.
We have a built-in microwave here. It's optional. You can also have it, but you don't need to have a built-in.
Okay.
It's very optional. Basically, what we do is we design to suit your taste.
I am Beverly Broom. Please stay for details. Hello and welcome. The price of crude oil continues to fall as the commodity, which peaked at more than $130 per barrel in March 2022, has given up all the gains triggered by Russia's war on Ukraine, falling to around $94 a barrel. If this continues, prices of petroleum products on the local market will see the biggest reduction in the next pricing window on August 15th. But according to petroleum strategist Yusuf Suleimana, this continuous reduction may not be sustainable. He spoke on Business Live.
I mean, nobody will stick the neck out and tell you that these prices are going to go down continuously like that. It's not going to happen. It may not happen. We're going to give it some time. And I'm saying that because if you look at, the factors that are keeping the oil price as it is now, the downward in the downstream will only sustain if we have a very much good control on the upstream. Bear in mind, what keeps the downstream from going up and from going down is because of the global prices, apart from our exchange rate. I don't want to say that exchange rate, let's say we'll hold exchange rate, we'll hold taxes. Then we'll talk about the global oil prices. So what is keeping global oil prices are three things. Number one, the rate at which the economies are opening. It has opened to the extent that we hadn't had that much of investment going to the downstream side, upstream side to beef up investment. So the whole thing about the upstream, why the upstream is burning out and we're still not to be able to control it, is because of the quantum decrease in the kind of investment after the COVID. Investment hasn't gone back. And let me just give you a brief history on this, why it is very dicey to tell. If you watch closely, let's say first quarter of 2020, we had the market collapse. And the market collapsed because COVID was just coming. The market collapsed with even WTI going to negatives. So OPEC came together and said, okay, let's make some supply cuts. So they took about 10% of global supply out of the basket. That was about 9.7 million, barrels of oil per stream day. That was huge. So that kind of ration has been there, and that amount of oil hasn't gone back to the market. It is just this month, the end of this month, that kind of ration is ending. So yes, a lot of people were expecting that OPEC would have gone like a quantum leap. But of 100,000 barrels of oil increment to the global basket, I think it's not something that is going to have impact on the downstream side. So yes, it is difficult to tell at this moment whether this downward trend will sustain. It will only sustain when we have robust investment coming back to the global oil community, where we have investment coming back to the upstream, and we invest more into the upstream to churn out more oil. And then when also OPEC members, especially Saudi Arabia and UAE, if Saudi Arabia and UAE can beef up, because they are the only people with a credible capability to be able to add up to the global basket. If these two players are not able to add anything to the global basket, I'm afraid that we may still see high prices, at the downstream side, at the upstream side, and that will automatically impact the downstream, yeah.
Meanwhile, researcher with the Institute for Energy Security, Fritz Moses, says significant reduction at the pumps may not be realized due to the cedi's continuous depreciation against the dollar.
Well, of course, like I stated earlier, what we are seeing is a global economic recession that many U.S. economists prefer we don't see, and that we are anticipating. We see how the economies around the world, in U.S., China, in UK, are all facing a downturn in economic activities with inflation rising, and how that would affect demand. We see in U.S. especially, there's been a decline in consumption of gasoline, that's petrol. The API, that's American Petroleum Institute, reported an excess of 4 million barrels of gasoline crude inventory recorded in just the last ended month of July. And so it points to the fears of analysts and traders that demand certainly is falling. We are seeing, however, in Europe, although we are seeing a fall in demand for oil, and gas especially, the focus is now on oils. And so whereas gas demand is falling in Europe, we are seeing a shift to oil demand. Countries like Germany are increasing their reliance on oil-powered plants or units to meet up the energy demands. Also, of course, you see how in Europe currently they've been able to reduce their reliance on Russia's gas by some 50% and increase their LNG imports by some 100%, I should say, from 70% of their total imports to about 39% there. Of course, imports coming in from Algeria, Azerbaijan, is what's accounting for these increments. So the current economic situation, although not very favorable for the oil markets, it's for oil traders and big oil corporations, IOCs. For consumers, it's a good thing because we continue to see, and of course we anticipate that to the end of this year, you'll be seeing a dwindling oil prices. We may see prices come lower than the $90 per barrel, hopefully even before the first half of August ends, if that should be the case.
Okay.
The Director General of the State Interest and Governance Authority, Edward Boateng, is urging state enterprises to register conservative profits in order to declare dividends for the government. According to him, that is the only way in which such entities will stay competitive and refrain from depending on the government for financial support. He was speaking at the launch of the 50th anniversary of Ghana Reinsurance. There's more in the following report.
Ghana Reinsurance is one of the few state enterprises that has been recording consistent profits for 20 years. Director General of the State Interest and Governance Authority, Edward Boateng, therefore wants other state enterprises to emulate Ghana Reinsurance, whilst its success story becomes a case study for students at the university. He spoke to Joy Business.
Ghana Reinsurance is one of the companies in Ghana, special entities in Ghana, that has consistently paid dividends for the last 20 years. We at SIGA really admire and appreciate what they've done, and we believe that the case and the story of Ghana Reinsurance should be written so that it can be studied in the schools, it can be studied by leaders of special entities as to how to get results. On their 50th anniversary, we congratulate past and current management. Invariably in Ghana, most of the time when a new leader comes, they don't continue what the other leader has done. What we've learned today at Ghana Re is exemplary. Each leader has built upon what the previous leader has done, and that is what we expect all other leaders going forward who are managing SEs to do.
Board chairman of Ghana Reinsurance, George Otu, for his part, expressed his excitement that Ghana Reinsurance has become a global entity with offices in Morocco and Kenya. He told Joy Business that stakeholders of the insurance industry have contributed to the success of Ghana Reinsurance.
But over time, it has expanded into other parts of Africa, particularly in Kenya, to serve the East African countries, and also in Cameroon to serve both the French-speaking country and part of the Anglophone West Africa. Recently, we have also established an office in Casablanca in Morocco to cater for the northern part of Africa. So we are a global company doing business of giving capacity to insurance companies across Africa.
Ghana Reinsurance was established with the primary objective of providing reinsurance capacity for the local market.
Businesses operating in the financial sector have been advised to take advantage of cloud service to enhance digital solutions. This, according to stakeholders, will ensure security and efficiency, particularly in the financial sector. The following report has more.
With the expansion in Ghana's payment and banking system, stakeholders have called for a more secured way in protecting data in the financial sector. Some experts have pointed out that cloud services provide the best ways to secure data in the financial sector. Speaking to Joy Business at the launch of the Alibaba Cloud in Accra, WASP Digital, Grant Weber said financial service providers in Ghana must begin to adopt new technologies to make the sector more robust.
If you're a fintech, if you're an e-commerce provider, if you're providing retail services, banking in the mainstream, any industry that you want to speak of can be deployed immediately because all the back-end work has been done. All the platform is there for you already. And all you need to do is focus on your particular industry and your particular client sector that you want to target. So everything is immediate, it's scalable. And what I mean by that is you can pay for what you need today as you go, and as the business grows, so you expand the technology behind you.
On his part, Executive Director of the Institute of ICT Professionals Ghana, David Gowu, stressed that small businesses must leverage government's digitalization agenda to grow and expand their operations.
The entire government agenda in terms of promoting digital inclusion requires also infrastructure. And one of the key infrastructure is cloud solution, because then it becomes easy for small businesses to be able to connect, big businesses to be able to transform from the paper system to the cloud system. Even banks and other corporate organizations that currently have their servers, with their racks and everything, will be able to now move all those things safely onto a cloud solution, and they will be saving some costs when it comes to when it comes to their infrastructure in terms of storage.
The Ghana National Tailors and Dressmakers Association has launched a website and an online shopping mall to connect its customers. Speaking at the launch, chairman of the association, Abdul Aziz Ali, indicated that this is to rebrand Ghana's fashion industry through the digitalization agenda. He believes it is time for players in the dressmaking industry to take advantage of the digital space.
The importance of digitalization has heightened following the advent of the coronavirus pandemic. All sectors of the economy had to adapt to the changes and have online presence. In view of this, tailors and dressmakers have launched an online platform to ensure convenience for their customers as conventional shopping days are over. Abdulaziz Ali is chairman of the Ghana National Tailors and Dressmakers Association.
Today, as we launch our online mall, it's going to help boost the economy as well, because we are going to create more jobs as people go buy their things on that particular mall. So when you go and purchase your things on that particular mall, there will be more orders to our members and everybody on board. We bring this particular online mall to digitalize everything that we do. So you can sit at your comfort of your home without going to a tailor to take your measurements, and then with all this disappointment, you can sit at your comfort of your house, order your shirt or any item on that particular mall, then probably we'll bring it to you at your doorsteps.
Representative for the national president of the Ghana National Tailors and Dressmakers Association, Baba Said, made a call to government to implement policies that would fast-track accreditation processes.
The MCPs, as mastercraft persons, we are being trained for the program. So for now, the government has put in much in the TVET, especially on the informal sector. Yeah, for now, TVET is very bright. But also, we need much help from the government because we need more institutions. Some of the institutions don't have accreditation for the TVET area, so we need accreditation. That's accessibility of the accreditation is also very, very important. Assessing the accreditation is very cumbersome, so we are telling the government at least for him to help us, especially GNTD.
Meanwhile, Makuyo Brown, a tailor, expressed enthusiasm and urged the public to patronize tailors and dressmakers via their online platforms.
Now, everybody is going digital. Everybody is shopping online. So we are informing the general public that henceforth they should, with a press of a button, they can get our products online.
The launch was themed Rebranding Ghana's Fashion Industry through Excellent Leadership and Digitization.
As part of strategies to transform from a frontier market to an emerging one, the Ghana Stock Exchange says it is engaging various groups within the business community. This engagement, it says, has the potential to double the number of companies currently listed on the Bourse in 5 years. Managing Director of the GSE, Echo Afeji, made this known at an MOU signing ceremony between his outfit and the GIPC here in Accra.
We've been trying to get more companies listed on the market for a while. It's not been easy, and we'll keep on trying very hard, using various strategies where we keep on educating. We are forming a very strong alliance with Association of Ghana Industries and other associations in order to educate their members over the importance of long-term capital, raising long-term capital. That's what most Ghanaian companies need. If not, it becomes difficult for them to expand and grow. If not difficult, it becomes difficult for them to expand and grow. So we believe going forward, we can easily double that number maybe in 5 years' time. That's why our vision has always been, how do we get to 100 to make the market more liquid? That is for both equities and debt. So we'll keep on working hard together.
Ghana's development partners are urging the government to speed up action to move the country towards the generation and supply of renewable energy. This, they say, will enable Ghana to qualify for cheaper funds with conditions tied to the use of clean energy such as solar and wind power. Here's Netherlands Ambassador to Ghana.
First of all, we have a joint challenge and a joint assignment to reduce the emission of climate change causing gases, greenhouse gases, and in that we have to collaborate together. And it's not only a collaboration between countries, but it's also a collaboration between different segments of society. It's public-private collaboration. And the Netherlands is mainly focusing on promoting public-private cooperation in order to turn energy, electricity generation into something which is not contribution to pollution. So we focus on enhancing the use of renewable energy, like hydropower, like solar, like wind, in order to generate electricity. And we try to promote also that in Ghana, the energy mix, the amount, the contribution of renewable energy in producing electricity is enhanced, because at the moment it is only 30%, mainly hydropower. 70% of Ghana's electricity is generated by fossil fuels, and the plea that I made this morning was to see if Ghana could change this energy mix and enhance the contribution of renewable energies, and that's mainly solar and wind, in the electricity generation. And the Netherlands would be very happy to support that effort.
Let's take a look at the stock market. The stock market saw movement in 6 equities with 2 gainers and 4 losers. Joining us is Patrick Edemagama, Head of Trading, Republic Securities, on details of trading this week.
The stock market recorded activities in 24 equities this week. Total volumes and values traded shot up significantly on the back of MTN. There was massive pressure on the composite index this week, making it plunge to negative 14.08% year to date. The financial stock also lost some points to close at negative 2.24%. There were 2 gainers and 4 losers this week in terms of equities, and also we recorded activities in New Gold ETF, gaining 4.27 in value. Access Bank led the gainers to gain 45 pesos to close at 3 cedis per share. Cal Bank gained a peso to close at 75 pesos per share. Total ETI lost a peso each to close at 4.09 Ghana cedis per share and 15 pesos per share. Societe and MTN also lost some points to close at 0.96 pesos and 80 pesos respectively.
And that's how we end Prime Business here on the Joy News channel. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com/business. For more stories, we leave you with business news making headlines on the international front. My name is Beverly Broom. Have a good evening.